Good morning from London, and it's probably, what is the time? It's like 8 in the morning, and this is my favourite time to smoke a cigar. I don't know why. I think it's because I usually only smoke at weekends. I don't touch my cigars during the week because it gives me something really special to look forward to in terms of having a smoke and relaxing and, you know, just having a wonderful, wonderful cigar. And, you know, the early morning thing for me, having a smoke in the mornings, don't get me wrong, I still smoke throughout the day. I'll have other cigars, but the morning cigar is king. The reason being for me is because my palate is clean and you're more likely to pick up more flavours and the like during the duration of your cigar, as opposed to having what I might call a tired mouth come the end of the day if you've been smoking and eating or whatever, even though I don't smoke cigarettes at all. So anyhow, enough of that. This morning I've chosen a cigar that I absolutely love, and it is this. This is a Cuaba Exclusivos. An interesting shaped cigar. This is a Perfecto. At its widest point, it's about 46 ring gauge. They're about 145, 146 mil in length. And the thing I like about Cuaba is I find that they're a very traditional company, if you want to call them a company, where Habanos seem to give them free range to stick to the old school style vitolas, like the Tradicionales that we have here. I think there's about 4 in their range, and I'm going to try and rattle them off as best as I can because I don't have any information to hand. They do a Divinos, which is a chunkier, smaller version of what we got here. Then we have this Tradicionales, which I've got here in front of you. A Distinguidos, which is like a baby brother, well, or it's a larger version of this, of the Salomon, which is the biggest, and that is a baseball bat. I love Salomons, particularly the Partigas Salomons. It's a great size, and I do have some of these Salomons somewhere tucked away that are quite old, from about 2007 I think, and I've never touched them. I might have to try them on one day. So yeah, that's a little bit on this cigar. Let's just get it wrapped up. I'm going to be having a nice espresso coffee with it this morning, or 2, and I will come back once I've sort of made my way into it a little bit. But before I go any further, I don't know if anyone saw my last video where it cut off at the end. I got something happened to my iPhone whilst it was recording. It went strange on me. I don't know why, so I had to brutally edit my video and missed out a lot of stuff that I wish I'd gone on there. But, you know, hey ho, I'm a fucking amateur, and I don't take great pride in my work, even though I'm a photographer by trade. When I say take pride, I just smash these things together as long as I can get some chit chat and the smoking notes and that on there. That's all I'm about. So anyhow, I'm gonna give this a cut. People say, where'd you cut it? Well, basically just nip the end off. It's as simple as that, you know. Nice cut, bang. Now, this particular box is from 2015, and when you draw on them to start with, they are a little bit tight, and the reason being is because you've got this nipple thing on the end. And do pardon me, I've got a frog in my throat at the moment. This nipple thing, but once you've burnt that away, you get a nice open draw from it. But it's tight because you've got a very narrow opening. But I tend to snip this bloody thing off, even though traditionally you're meant to light these cigars with a cedar spill. But I find cedar spills are so unruly with the flame bouncing around, and it's a massive flame of them. You can end up destroying the cigar. So anyhow, I'm gonna remove this part as well. Another fine snip. Okay, let's give it a light. The opening is slightly bitter on the lips from the wrapper. It's a very dark wrapper. But it has the biscuit nature, which I love. It's a superb flavour. No sweetness as of yet. Now, I've smoked the top layer of this particular box, and I would say 6 or 7 of them have been very sweet, and the rest have been sort of like on the woody end and that, but I don't expect the whole box to be the same, It's very rare you get it like that. The only box that I've ever had the same was a box called... It was by Romeo and Julieta. It was a 2001 box, which I still have now. Celestial Finos. And every single cigar must have been rolled by the same roller, because nowadays you don't get the same roller on the same box. You might get 3 or 4 different rollers putting together one box. But this one was done by the same roller. I could tell, because every flavour was the same in each cigar. And also the ash bent away to the left, where he was probably left-handed or right-handed or whatever it is, which was quite unusual. But that is the only consistent box, and I'm convinced that was done by just one roller back in 2001. So anyhow, this is opening up nice now, and a little bit of sweetness is now coming in. Okay, let me get into the first third, and I'll be back for the second third, and I'll let you know how it's going. Thank you. I just wanted to touch on something that I brought up in one of my last video, actually, about plugs and bad draws and stuff like that. My theory is like, it's when you get a wet cigar or damp cigar that's been over-humidified, and I think this is a problem a lot of people have, is where they over-humidify their cigars. You have dampness in the cigar, where the leaf is still wet. Plus there's oils from the youth of the cigar. Young leaf is very oily and very damp. And you need to get the moisture out to get a free-flowing air flow. If you don't do that, you're going to have a quite a tough time, and when you've got to remember, this is 300 degrees, the tip of your cigar where the cherry is, and when that hits wet tobacco, it steams and it makes the leaf taste bitter. Now, here's a prime example. Now, at the end of my cigar, where obviously my saliva has been there, I don't know if you can pick this up, probably not, but we all get it, and you get a bit of a tar build-up in there. And because it's damp, it's now become a very, very tight draw for me, and I can't draw on it properly because, you know, this is a relatively new cigar. All right, it's a 2015 cigar, but you know it's got a long way to go in terms of aging and that. But if I cut and snip the end now and remove the tarred area, I should get a better draw. And instantly, because there's no damp area, the oils and the tar that have built up in the end have been removed. I'm getting a free airflow. Now, with new cigars that are 2019 boxes, say, for instance, where you've got all that oil and the dampness running down there, it's little wonder that they're tough to draw on. So, dry box your cigars, guys. You know, look, this is just my opinion. A lot of people might disagree with it, but it's the way I think, and it's the way I believe that, you know, cigars are. Yeah, you might get some badly rolled cigars where you're going to have a fucking twig in there, and you know, you're going to get a problem like that. But go and get yourself a perfect draw, and if you do believe it is a twig in there, run it through with your perfect draw and drag it out and see what happens. But 95% of the time, it's because of the oils and the dampness of the leaf inside that is causing you major problems. That is what I think. So, you know, take it for what it's worth. Right, well, I'm at the approaching the second third now, and at the moment, it's been very, very nice. Very, very nice. It started getting bitter until I snipped the end and got rid of the tar, which is a bitter taste. And it's smoking absolutely beautifully. It really is, as I expected. It's like it's a chocolate bomb, really. Slight sweetness, slight woodiness. It's a medium-bodied cigar. And drawing absolutely beautifully at the moment. So, you know, like I said earlier, you know, if you get like it's getting tough to draw through, just check your end. If it's looking wet, snip it off. You know, 1/4 mil. That's all it takes, and then you'll free it up. So never remove too much of the end of your cigar, so you've got plenty of space to move in, just in case you do need to cut it back. Wonderful cigar, really, really nice. I just wanted to show this box, actually. Now, this is a box I bought about maybe 4 years ago now, and it's about trying your cigars when you get them, in terms of aging and what they're going to be like. Now, when you get a box, you know, you think, I'll put it away for 5 years, see how it goes. That's wrong. You don't need to do that. The first thing you need to do, unless you're intending to sell it, which I very rarely do. Now, this is a 50 cab of Pure Laranaga Petty Coronas. Now, I've had 2 out of this box now. I had one immediately when I bought it, just to see what the flavour was like, to see where it was standing at the moment, see what it was as a cigar. And the first one I had was bitter. Now, what that told me, as it was bitter, that bitterness can be converted into sugars. So I knew that this cab was going to be spectacular. Now, the beauty of Pure Laranaga is that they don't take long. They're one of the best aging sticks you can buy. Any sort of non-Cuban can't come near this cigar. You cannot go near this cigar. You know what I mean? They are absolutely phenomenal. So that was when I first got it about 4 years ago. So during the week, I had another one, and what I thought would happen was confirmed to me. It was like a candy bar. It was absolutely fantastic. The bitterness or the tannins that was in the wrapper have now disappeared, and it's just a sweet, oaty flavoured cigar. Now, for me, these are now ready. I will smoke this box now happily, knowing that they're at a stage that I like. I don't know how it can improve for me. In fact, I don't think it will improve much more. It might get smoother. It might even become less of a cigar in terms of flavour. But at the moment, they are where I need them to be, and they're absolutely beautiful. The oils are coming out. They're stunning, and I'm very happy to have them. And I'll smoke halfway through this one. I've got another cab actually from the same date, so I know that is going to be superb. But I'm going to let that one go probably another couple of years just to see where that goes. But these are going to take me a long while to smoke anyhow, because I've got other cigars that I need to try in the meantime. So yeah, there's that to be spoke about as well, which I've just done. Thank you very much, and I'll be back with the rest of the tasting notes on that. The other thing about smoking a cigar that a lot of people can't do or haven't tried for probably fear of choking and dying. Some people are really quite scared to do it, but if you want to improve your smoking experience, you've got to learn to smoke and exhale through your nose, because you will lose certain flavours. I pick, like this cigar for instance, if I didn't exhale through my nose, or retrohale as some call it, I wouldn't be picking up the oatiness of the cigar, the biscuit nature, which is something that I hunt for in a cigar, which is what tells me is a good cigar, is when I get that. The sweetness I get on my palate at the back of my tongue, the oatiness comes through when I retrohale. And it's such an important part of cigar smoking. I really do recommend learning to do it. If you can't do it, I'm not saying that people can't do it or anything like that, but just, it's worth learning how to do it if you don't know how to do it. And you'll enjoy your cigars more. You really will. You might even find out more about the cigar that you don't like, but generally that is a way forward. Worth trying, guys. Okay, I'm coming into halfway through the third now, and it's becoming a lot more darker now in its flavours. More on the espresso coffee end of things. The sweetness has all but disappeared, which did appear for a little while. And once it goes, it goes. You're never going to get the sweetness back. It's very rare you do. It does happen, but in my experience, it very rarely comes back. So it's coming to its end. It's had its day, in my opinion. I'm going to smoke it down a little bit more, and then I'm going to be getting on with the rest of my Saturday, and I will probably this afternoon go and spend some time at AJ's La Casa and have a cigar down there and see what I can find in amongst his treasures. Okay guys, have a wonderful weekend, and I will be back soonish.